All right, we've got a game with my dogs versus Rodrigo. Okay, so this is Division 3 match between the this is like Institute Technology Autonomo de Mexico A team, ITAM versus WashU B team. So we just watched WashU's A team get demolished by Mizzou. Hopefully their B team has a better chance today. Against this Mexican team. So yeah, first time to stream Mexico playing. This is their first time in the league, so I'm pretty excited to see how they're doing. So Rodrigo, 22-34. This is their top board. Pretty strong player for Division 3. Division 3 is pretty tough. It's pretty up there. My Dogs is the bottom board for WashU. Now WashU's A team was missing 2 or 3 players, which they're required to pull some players up from the B team, perhaps. So perhaps their B team's not at full strength, which is a bit unfortunate for them. We have an attack on F2 early. And how do you defend this? Normally you have a knight to defend, but the knight's been traded. So now we go bishop E3. What about D4? No, they just take with whatever. So bishop here, this is a gambit of a pawn. Not so much a gambit, so much as you have to give up a piece here. So, yeah, black's doing well. Queen developed with tempo on the bishop. Bishop tucks back, so preventing queenside castles. But white wants to go kingside, I assume. Queen here, though, says, nope, no castling either which way for you. You're going to have to keep your king here in the center. Sit in timeout. Think about what you've done. You just lost a pawn. Now you lose your right to castle. Let me make sure I'm following all the players. Okay, so I see 3 of the games that have started. Let me actually update the scoreboard. Sorry. Apologies for that. Sorry, it's a little scuffed, guys. I just finished watching WashU's A team versus Mizzou. Here we have a woman candidate master from Mexico, Anastasia Lopez. With the white pieces. Both players playing pretty quickly here. Bishop F5 hitting the queen and E4 quickly in response. Supported by a lot of white pieces. Kicking the bishop back. And we have the knight into D5 hitting the queen. Knight takes. I think this helps white. They've got connect 4 now. But without the E pawn, the bishop comes back to F5 hitting the queen yet again. Bishop blocks. Now the bishop comes in, eyeing up these these light squares. Now we have the bishop trade. Yeah, very peculiar. I don't know if I'd let the queen control G7, but actually, if they take, we take. They just give check again. So, not sure how big of a difference it really makes. But this bishop's annoying. White can always contest it. Go, dude. These players playing way too fast. This is move 22. They're on move 23 now. No stop in sight. E7's weak. Black just takes here. They don't care. Okay, rook defends. Bishop back. So we'll see if they take. I would take. If they keep trading down, we can get an even position. Just ends in a draw. So black leaves the bishop on. Interestingly enough. Queen over, so the bishop can come back to F5, hit the queen if they want. For the 3rd time. They say 3rd time's a charm. Rook here pins the pawn. So now tripled up. You don't want to lead with the queen though. Queen takes, rook takes. So what's really happening is they're attacking this. They're also allowing the queen to defend. So bishop f5. There's no block on e4 anymore. What's up, Daniel? Good to see you. You joining the arena a little late, but it's not that late. It's like 5. That's like one game, if that, maybe half a game. I'm not commentating the arena though. I'm commentating WashU's B team. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh my goodness. Rook takes e7, queen takes e1. Big blunder here. Now you can double the rooks, bring the bishop in. There's queen d8, and I don't know. You're just lost now. Anastasia. I mean, look at how much time these players have left. They're on move 32. They've combined haven't even used 2 minutes. That's just crazy. Crazy right now how fast these guys are going. They could be pulled over by the chess police for exceeding the speed limit. The game is completely over. Black's just, it's a matter of time. I would take, oh, check here also really strong. Ooh. Pawn push. Pawn push. Pawn push. Yeah, here. You have to go here. And then here. Force the king on a light square. You either have check. I would go here, yeah. Maybe pawn push was better, but okay, here. Maybe. Okay, here. The king should go back. King should go back. Should go back. That's what I would do. Hoping for perpetual. Oh, rook takes here. So the threat is this, mate. So here, okay, block this way. Interesting. Queen hits this. There's bishop f1. King here. Rook check. Rook check. King here. Bishop check. Block, and now bishop takes is checkmate. GG. The scuffed gambit getting a win over the woman candidate master. Let's see. So that's the first point for WashU. We got a game here between My Dogs and Rodrigo. So Rodrigo, the top board. My Dogs down to 20 seconds to just under 3 minutes. Who am I missing? We're missing Andrew. Did I miss their game? I'm not sure. Looks like this king is very exposed. Okay, but the G pawn is gone now. Queen takes. Queen takes c5. Rook over now. Only 10 seconds. There goes another pawn. This pawn is hanging. This pawn is hanging. Bishop check is annoying. King over. Afraid of queen check, I guess. Rook up. Ooh, rook over. This is gonna not end well. Rook b1. King up. Bishop check. Ouch. Yeah, rook block. This is not good. This is not good. Queen here even. Or just take the exchange. Oh, and take here too now. Yeah, nah, that's GG. That's GG. And you don't have to worry about perpetual because the queen covers this check. Very important that the queen covers this check. If the queen didn't cover this check, that would be perpetual. So, okay, opening this up. Last chance for them, but they won by resignation. All right. Oh, we have Andrew's game. Oh, against Anastasia. So probably Alfred. Luis is missing, it seems. So let's give Rodrigo their point. I might have missed the game. Let me check really quick with Andrew. Did he play against Alfred? He did. He lost to Alfred. Wow. Okay. So let's give Alfred, Luis, their point. So yeah, that's a big upset. Bottom board from Mexico taking down WashU's top board. So Andrew is already in the round 2, looking to get a point back. Let's stick to this game though. Wazels versus Bernardini. Eduardo. So only 36 seconds for Eduardo. This is, I believe, Mexico's leader in board 2. Both of these players 1900, so this is pretty evenly matched. Ooh, knight takes with check. Defended by the pawn. King over. So if pawn takes, I mean, there's also, no, you can't take here because you're pinned. Trading here. Yeah, this is pretty annoying for white. Probably you want to move the queen off the file. But where exactly? What's the material count? Eduardo's up 2 whole pawns. Both players now at 30 seconds. Okay, the queen's centralizing, looking at check. Bishop block. There's going to be a check, right? Probably. Oh, wait. The knight's hanging. Ooh, yeah, they missed the knight. King h1. Yeah, that was weird. But they're in time pressure. Here attacking the knight, but now there's bishop here. Yep. Queen back. There's knight here. Could have been a thing. Okay, the queen gets off the diagonal, takes the pawn. 15 seconds for Eduardo. Knight fork, queen takes, rook takes. This is hanging. Knight back to e2. Queen stepping in. Knight here. Check. Rook here, pinning the bishop. Queen steps up. These bishops are covering a lot of ground back here. Knight out. You could take this if you want. King takes. You pawn push. Ooh. Ooh, pawn push looks strong. Trading off here instead. Defending this. Is there perpetual? Oh, they're winning this now. Bishop here. Queen here looking at this pawn. Very smart. Queen takes, queen takes. Queen block. Queen check. Ooh, queen check here would have been nice. Queen check here. Queen check, queen check. Looking at this guy. Queen block to defend. Yeah, I think there's a missed opportunity for white. There's a check. There's another check. Is this pawn going to be grabbed? This pawn can be grabbed. Take here. Queen takes d6. Come on. That's like twice now. Now the king defends. Queen check. Get in there. Queen check. King here now. Yeah, no, this is good for black. White missed their opportunity. They missed d6. To be fair though, white also hung a knight earlier and missed that. Pawn push. Yes. The pawn is guaranteed to get here though. Yep. Yep. Just walk in the pawn. Here threatens queen to b2. Any pawn push. Queen b2, huge threat. Bishop blocks. So now we take here. We take here with check. Come on, you could find it. Oh, come on. Okay. Yeah, bishop e2 is a great move because you block this queen. Yeah, okay. That's okay. White was gonna lose anyways if Eduardo played a little bit better. But Mexico takes round 1, 3-1. Let's check out this game here. This is from round 2. Luis versus Scuffed Gambit. So Luis had an upset win against Andrew on board 1 from Wash U. So this could be very strong board 4 for Mexico. In fact, they're 1900. So Wash U's fourth board is only 1400. So it's a 500 rating point difference there. So Luis is set up to play a really good match. But Scuffed Gambit, they had the first point for Wash U in the last round. The first and only point, I might add. And they're looking for more here. They're looking to win as well. So bishop here with tempo. Yes, very solid move. If you block, pawn takes, and that opens up the queen here to take with check. So the queen moves. So now the queen takes the c-file, threatening check, perhaps. This is a well-placed knight. This is a really sad bishop. I would definitely consider taking here if I was black at some point. Taking here, opening the g-file. Queen offering a trade. Attacking the queen, attacking the pawn. If queen takes, bishop takes, maybe threatening bishop here. So probably I wouldn't address this. I would, yeah, do something like this is fine. What you were worried about is queen takes, king takes, bishop takes, and then bishop fork. So bishop f3 is a really solid move. Got to make sure you look out for the checks. And now, okay, so if bishop takes, king here, but there is this move. So yeah, the bishop looks trapped, but a4 should be good enough. Knight here attacking this now. I would go here for sure. King b2. Who cares about the e-pawn? Yeah, I think black needed to play a4 there. So Luis might have missed that. Here and yeah, a4. But what is that? 3 pawns for a bishop, and it's 3 outside pass pawns. But this knight's gonna try to work its magic, try to get in there. This defends here. I would go here, I think. Put pressure on d4. Okay, king over. This knight needs to get involved. And yeah, the knight goes here. This prevents knight f5 now. Okay. Now the bishop needs to do something. Bishop here. No, the knight covers that. So bishop here. So if here, maybe we give check. Now maybe bishop takes. Pawn takes, though. It's got to be somewhat annoying. And then king here, maybe. Then reroute the bishop. Okay, so this pawn is hanging, but then this pawn would also be hanging. So now bishop takes. Yeah, I don't know if I like that for white. Well, we could take here now, though, at least. Okay. So now we're threatening to trade. Actually, to fork. Both knights are here. I would trade knight, I think. I don't know. This knight's better than both of these knights, so knight here. Scuff Gambit's got just under 3 minutes, so they got a lot of time to figure this out. Bringing the bishop back first. You can trade off these knights if you want. Yeah, this is a tough position. White only has 2 pawns. You either need to keep a knight and bishop. You need to start winning black's pawns somehow. It's not so easy though. Now the knight's attacking this. It's very important to keep as many pawns as you can. So knight check seems good. We could start pushing the pawn as well. We can also defend the pawn. So we're pushing it. We're pushing it. Knight check at some point. The bishop is hit. This check allows for that, so you don't want to do that. The bishop is hanging. Bishop to a6. Okay. Looking at a new diagonal. Pawn push. So everything that black has is on a dark square except for the king. Okay, I'm not a big fan of this because the king just steps up. Maybe they'd go here and take this or something. Knight d7. So what's winning for white? Maybe king c4. Okay, here maybe bishop b5, defend the knight. Also taking on c5 is probably good. Yeah, they do that. And now the knight walks in. I love this this combination here with the pawn and the knight. You just basically make a wall in front of this king. It's knight here, king here for sure, right? King here, there's this fork. Okay, taking here though. Leaving the king. Yeah, no, this should be winning. Should be winning. This is hit, but let's see. Now, just you have to make sure that you're not left with bishop and this pawn, because that could be a draw, because it's promoting on the wrong square. Okay, pawn push. They're threatening to push here. Okay, so the knight steps back. What's up with this? What the heck? What the heck was that? Wait, king takes. Yeah, you have to leave the knight on. Trading here would have been a draw, I believe. Wait, would it have been? I think so. This is crazy. This knight is going to try to win this pawn, I think. No, white should win this. White should win this. It's tricky, though. Okay, king up. Try to win these. It's so tricky. The knight's going to come here next. Maybe not. This is a strong check. You do have to watch out for this. Okay, check here. King here. Check here. I don't know. I don't know what's happening now. Knight check here. No, 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 no. You need to go here. Knight check here would have been better. So now you push. You have to push. Yeah. And now this knight moves. There's knight checks, though. Knight checks. You could also probably just take this. Check. There's another check. King here. So, okay, you're poised to save this thing. Like, this defends that. Oh, they're not gonna just take, are they? No, no, no. They can't just take. Can they? Oh, I think it's a draw now. Wait a second. Push. Here, maybe. Attack this thing. Here now. Oh, I don't want to go here with the knight. Or maybe that's fine. Maybe here now. Then we push. King here. Can we take this? They probably push at that point. No, we could take that. Bishop e6. Oh, bishop e6. This is winning now. Okay, b3. Knight check. Bishop takes. Wow. Wow. They're gonna have bishop and knight. Bishop and knight mate. Bishop and knight mate. Oh my god. Can they do it? Can they do it? All right. Move 78. They have 50 moves. Do you know the bishop and knight mate? I don't know if I've ever seen this in a Collegiate Chess League match. All right. Who's in chat that knows the bishop and knight mate? And what rating do you think a player should know the bishop and knight mate? Scuffed Gambit is 2097. And they have a minute as well, which is important. I think if the times were flipped, it would be difficult. Black should definitely play on here and see. They should definitely be testing. You don't want to run towards this corner, no. I think knight here now should be good, perhaps. You just want to get rid of this square, maybe. Or like knight here. Yeah, just gotta watch out for stalemate. Oh, they resigned. Wow. Wow. I would have played on. But Scuffed Gambit, what a crazy game that was. That could be game of the week material right there. You've done it once in your 1600, RB Spyro. Good to see you. Okay, queen check. This is an issue though, right? I mean, I don't know if queen check was good. Wait, what? What is king g6? My dogs. My dogs are getting mated. Oh no. My dogs. Knight's coming in now. Queen's hit. Attacking this thing. Check. Pick your poison. Knight check. King here. This is mate in 2. GG. Alright, Eduardo with their second point. Let's look at Wazzles versus Rodrigo. Wazzles has 4 seconds. They're going to lose. Take a rook, but there's h7 mate. Or g7 mate. Or rook g7 mate. So, GG. Wazzles goes down. And flames. So the top 2 boards from Mexico, they're both 2 for 2. Scuffed Gambit is 2 for 2 from Wash U. I'm also missing a game. Who did I miss? Did I miss Andrew's second game? Where the heck is your game, Andrew? Why am I missing Andrew's games? Andrew lost to Anastasia. Okay, Andrew's having a rough day. So Anastasia gets her first point. Andrew, top board, 0 out of 2 against the bottom 2 boards from Mexico. And it's only going to get tougher from here. Andrew's now playing against Bernardini. How did I miss that game? But I got this game, so I'm following him. I don't know. Anyways, we have all 4 games from round 3 underway. Mexico is up 4 points. Wash U's going to need a sweep of 1 round to just tie it. Oh, you had a daily game. Okay. Well done. It's still impressive. It's good theory to know. I still think you shouldn't resign. I mean, the odds of stalemating are quite high. Now, I get it. The guy's over 2,000, right? But it's not like it's Division 1. It's not like you're playing a master who should have it known in and out. But they decided, let's just get it over with. Let's move on to the next round. You never know though. You never know. I've seen stronger players mess it up for sure. So let's see what's happening here. Both sides have castled kingside. I think white's king's a bit safer. Haven't moved the pawns yet. Black, on the other hand, has played f5, h6, g6. They do have the bishop fianchettoed, and the king is on h7 preemptively to defend h6. White's just taking space on the queen side. We have a couple trades here in the center. There's knight takes, bishop takes. This bishop's nicely pointed opposite the king. Queen could step up at any moment, which could be annoying. A bishop pins the knight. So once this knight moves, there could be a discovery on this knight with the rook, which is annoying because you don't want to take with the pawn. The good news is if the knight takes the knight, then bishop takes helps defend f3. So, also, white could maybe simply just attack. They go here. Now there's knight f5, which could be awkward. The rook will have to swing over somewhere. So yeah, this is also blocking the bishop, which is another layer of awkwardness. Rook e3 is not the most natural move. We gotta watch Andrew here. Andrew's lost their first 2 games in the first 2 rounds against the bottom 2 boards from Mexico. Now he's up against the board 3 or board 2, Eduardo. Eduardo's won both their games. I believe in Andrew. I think Andrew can correct the first 2 matches. He still has 2 games left. He takes here with check, probably to open up the bishop to not have to move the rook. But there is like bishop takes, there's queen takes. I don't really know I would give this up, but they do. So yeah, maybe Andrew's losing their games because they're playing funny. So now you have queen and rook and bishop all attacking the knight. The good news is the queen leads, right? If the rook and queen were flipped, this would be even stronger. So h3 is good because if bishop takes, we have rook takes, and we maintain a safe kingside pawn structure. If the bishop goes back, then we could see g4, which could be very annoying. We're forcing the queen for 2 pawns. So black might even just take on h3, actually. Well, hold on. Takes, pawn takes. If queen takes, then we have knight fork with the discovery. So you would be giving up the bishop for 1 pawn. Oh, wow. You know what else I'm just now seeing? There's this e4 idea. Open the bishop. Yeah, there it is. Wow. So we take here with tempo on the queen. Queen takes, and we're just maintaining both threats. So that's annoying, isn't it? Maybe rook here to double the rooks on the 3rd rank. So after pawn takes, we have rook takes. After rook takes, queen takes, then rook takes, and we maintain we don't have double pawns. So yeah, black goes for rook a3. That seems logical to me. We do have the recapture here. So all material is even. The position is even. Maybe white's a little bit better. I mean, this bishop's not better than this bishop though, but I think like white's king might still be a little bit safer maybe. But this queen is very active actually. Actually, I missed c4 was hanging. I think queen takes c4, black is better, and they missed it, and now white has a great opportunity. Wait, isn't that oh, our queen's hanging. Oh my god, white has this beautiful move. There's no way Andrew sees this. Andrew, if you see bishop takes h6, I don't know what I would do. I would lose my mind. The idea is if bishop takes, we take with check now. If king takes, we have rook check. Discovery on the queen. So bishop takes h6, rook takes f3, then rook takes f3, and we still have these. We have the discovery threats. So the issue is both of these queens are hanging. So like the pin works both ways. So the queen just gets out of the pin and just defends the c4 pawn. So now we have the rooks doubled. I think we take here. We also have like rook g3 ideas, no? Wait, what if rook g3 right now? Rook g3, now this pawn is hit. Probably go here. There's also queen h5. I'm a less fan of this for some reason. I'm maybe worried of queen h3. Or rook h3, I mean. Rook h3 and like queen d2. Like what? What is happening there? I don't know. No, definitely queen f5. Queen f5 or queen e5. Or queen g4. I don't know. There's a handful of... Oh, Luis beat Wazzles. So they're at 2 out of 3, I believe. So ITAM only needs a point and a half. I don't know why I've been just completely consumed by this game. Okay, bishop e3 is solid. Maybe queen d2 next or queen c1 next. Actually, there's queen a1 check. Queen a1 and then bishop e5. That's kind of interesting. I mean, you could block on c1 if you want. But then you'd lose the a4 pawn. Oh, but queen c1 comes with the threat on h6. Huh. Let's see my dogs. How are my dogs doing? Let's see what's going on here. Rook e7, rook f7, trade. Hold up, king takes. Wait, this king has a much better position. Black just lost a pawn. Oh, lost by resignation. They're gonna lose this pawn too. Wow, that is unfortunate for my dogs. So Anastasia now also 2 out of 3. So ITAM cannot lose. They've at least secured the draw. What's happening in this game? White is up in exchange. Rook check. You do not want to go here. You have to go here. You have to go here. Or this. But you lose that. If you go here, they give check again. Okay, so you go here. And... Okay, king over. What exactly is the issue? Yeah, if rook takes here, then this check would be game over. So push, push. If bishop takes, we have rook here now, and we're threatening rook here. So yeah, white should win this one. Let's check back with Andrew. They've traded rooks. So the position's like pretty much dead even. Pretty much dead even. Black's maybe a little bit better for the active pieces. Ooh, I don't know if I like this move. Kind of creating some weaknesses. But black's bishop can never move because of h6. Okay, now the queen's hitting 2 pawns at once. This is an issue. That's known as a fork. Black is going to win one of the pawns. Queen takes a4. That might just be GG actually. Queen b3. So what's a... I'm not a fan of this move sequence by Andrew. So after this move, apparently you need bishop to d2 to cover this pawn at least. Okay, here is there check and take. I think the position's falling apart for Andrew. I think he's gonna go 0 for 3. Okay, what's happening here? Yeah, white's just completely winning. Up a whole rook. We're gonna have a ladder mate soon, it seems. Check, check. So let's see how this one unfolds here. Take, take, take. Bishop here, bishop there. King up. King f2. Maybe Andrew can hold a draw, but it's unlikely. I like this g5 move. Scuffed Gambit beat Rodrigo. So Scuffed Gambit came to play today. The only player from WashU to have any points. Kind of crazy if you think about it. Eduardo low on time though. White has the better king positioning now. Wait, can you go king e6? Can you go king e6 and win the d pawn? And what is happening? White's winning now. White's winning. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. King b4. Wow. Andrew, I thought you'd lose. I'm sorry I ever doubted you. Let's go, Andrew. First win. You can take on a4. You can also give check. So there's no pawn pushes. You want to get the... Okay, check here. Yes. And now play here and here. And then you can never lose. Or draw, yeah. Just... Well, this allows the king maybe. Well, no, you're putting pressure here, so... Yeah, as soon as the queen gets to g1, you take this and you walk the king over, you win the pawn, you win the game. Very simple. Very simple stuff. Yep. All right, well done, Andrew. Just don't stalemate. King f3, classic. King d2, or there is fine. And now king n, yes. And now king n again. Yes, yes. Walk the king up. So the fastest mate would be to bring the queen to a place where you force the king back into mate. But well done, Andrew, getting a point on the board. The second player from WashU to get a point. So it's not over yet. It is not over yet. This is the final game in the... Wait, this might have been a new game from the 4th round. Yeah, this is the bottom boards. So my dogs is playing Luis. Luis is 2 out of 3. Actually, every player from Mexico is 2 out of 2. No, 2 out of 3. So this is a very, very well-rounded team that Mexico has put forth. Let's see. So Luis has the bishop pair. We have opposite side castles. White should just launch some pawns at black's king. That's what I would do. That's what I want to do. Wait, isn't this bishop just hanging? Oh, the queen. Wait, but the queen can go here. And then your bishop's hanging. This was a blunder from my dogs. My dogs just blundered a bishop. Is black gonna find it? Is the question. Yeah, queen f6. This is GG. That is a very unfortunate move. That's rough. Yeah. F5. You have to recognize the bishop opens up, and the queen combined with the bishop can deliver checkmate. So the knight move allowing the queen to f6 was a mistake. That's rough. All right, let's look at another game. Let's check on Scuffed Gambit. This is the point leader for WashU. They're looking to go 4 for 4. So yeah, if WashU sweeps this round, they can tie it, but I think my dogs is gonna lose. So I think Mexico should have this in the bag. This game looks pretty even, I'd say. Trade of knights here. Offer another trade of knights. Both sides with the dark square fianchetto. We could see e5 maybe. Knight here as well. I don't know what the knight's doing here though, if I'm being honest. But it does open up the queen at least to defend the pawn. Knight backwards. Looking at these squares, it seems. Okay, bishop here. This bishop can develop because this knight's still defending the pawn, but there could be a move like this, maybe. So, okay, a little bit of pressure on e5 with this rook, but not too much. Bishop to f5. We could see a sacrifice maybe on d3. Like bishop takes, knight takes. We're hitting the bishop as well as the rook, and we're creating a passed pawn. So that could be valuable. That could be a thing. Also, I think we're clearing the c8 square for our rook to attack c2. And, okay, knight here makes a lot of sense. We can trade. Yeah, okay. Takes with bishop, takes with rook. So now I think, okay, yeah. f5 hits the rook. I think rook c8 is pretty logical. Yep, there it is. Okay, the rook is defending this, though. The other rook can also come over if need be. The queen steps up. Do we continue pushing in the center here? So the queen steps up to defend the pawn, because after pawn takes, bishop and queen are both opened up. So we have rook c1. Let's check in with Wazzles and Anastasia. So Wazzles is one of two players from WashU that hasn't gotten any points so far. They are the favorite on this board, though, by like almost 200 rating. Material is even. Black might be better developed. This bishop on c1 is pretty bad. We could have an attack on the d4 pawn because the rook is pinning it to the queen. So perhaps one of these two pawn pushes is pretty solid. There goes this, giving up the bishop for the pawn. Knight takes. Offer a queen trade as well, but queen takes knight, obviously. And now what? Okay, b4. Luis beat my dogs. So Bill Hoseman got swept. Luis with 3 out of 4, only losing to Scuffed Gambit, I believe. And yeah, Mexico is guaranteed to win. I'm not a fan of bishop a3. I don't know what bishop a3 is. I think better would have been maybe b2 to c3. Bishop here is very, very not good. Okay, rook here to try to get the queen out. Like the problem is black has these two pawns. Like this pawn never wants to move. Unless this pawn moves and we have a discovery. But even then, like, that's not so bad for black. But also it's very easy to remedy. Like you just put the rook here. And there's really no good reason for this pawn to push to open the bishop on this diagonal. I think the bishop was better off on this diagonal. So who knows? Anastasia's got the time lead, also the material lead as well. So Wazzles has a tough path ahead of them. They still need to get some points on the board. Okay. Rook hits the queen back. This is nice. Maybe we go for b5 to play bishop here and here with the skewer. That's the only other thing I can think about. I still just want to bring the bishop back. I also think white should maybe play in the center Okay, queen here. Doubling here. I think black should go for this now, maybe. I mean, that gives up a pawn, so maybe not. Okay, knight d5. Let's check in with Eduardo and Scuffed Gambit. So Scuffed Gambit looking for a sweep. Can they do it? They look like they're doing pretty well. This pawn is hit, but can be defended. This pawn's very well passed. Like rook d4 makes a lot of sense. Yeah, how do you make progress here? I would just defend the pawn. Like rook g4. You could also go rook f8, because if queen takes, you take here. Queen steps up. Okay. So now queen takes e4. I don't know. I mean, why can't you take e4? White is under a minute now to 2 minutes 20. I think Scuffed Gambit should win this. Material is even though, but black just looks so much better. White has a lot of checks though, perhaps. Rook d2, solid. So there's queen e6, king g7, queen e7. No, king here. Okay, so no more checks. White could force queens off, but you don't want to do that. Kind of unfortunate. Let's check back in with Wazzles and Anastasia. Okay. Yeah, the bishop needs to move. So we did eventually play b5, it seems, but we've given up a pawn. Bishop here, not sure what this is about. Bring the bishop back somewhere, no? Eduardo down to 18 seconds. Queen defends this. Queen here to go here. Queen check. King here now. Only legal move. Don't want to spend too much time on that. Okay, here to cover this square. Rook f8 now should be pretty good, right? Wait, oh, they're offering queen trade. Oh, just take the queen. Yeah, take the queen. These pawns are messed up now. And yeah, rook d1 is happening because... Okay, well, not anymore. Maybe you go rook here to here. Oh, rook here. You know what? I don't know. Just walking the king up is also good. Let's check back with Wazzles. 14 seconds. What's happening here? White's got a nice passed pawn. The rook gets over. King steps over. This rook is really well placed. I guess this is like an even material endgame, but like, can we ever give check and push the pawn, or is the king gonna get too close? Not give up checks. I don't know. You do increase their odds of messing up, though. I would say. Oh, king here, though. What? What? Can you do that? I don't think you could have done that. Oh my god, this is so losing. Just rook here, dude. Oh my god. Anastasia, with so much time on the clock, is really fumbling the bag. Oh my goodness, this is dead lost. Rook check promote. GG. So Wazzle's gonna get their first point here. wait, can we not take? No, there's any pawn push as well. That's a funny move to make, hoping that the king moves or something. I don't know. Like, the queen was still defended. All right. Wazzles gets a point. Scuffed Gambit won their game. We're down to this last game with Andrew. So well done to Wazzles to get a point. Scuffed Gambit, very well done with a sweep. 4-0. Okay, what's happening here? Andrew looks to be crushing in this game. Let's see. Oh yeah, queen trade, king takes, pawn push. That should be GG. Oh, unless you blunder mate. Can you play G5? Don't blunder mate. You also shouldn't you have like rook d4? Yeah. Very solid. Yeah, maybe knight c7. Oh wait, no, they're still threatening mate. Oh my goodness. Okay, pawn push. Now the knight is hit. White is fighting. White is fighting. Good for them, honestly. Pawn push, rook here. And this pawn can't really get here because the bishop. Okay, check. Rook block is forced. Now rook here, bishop here. Looking at bishop, check. King steps over. Pawn, what? Okay, the knight's here. Okay, all right. Giving up the knight. So now we have opposite colored bishops, but we have 4 pawns to none. None of them are connected though. Bishop check. I would push the pawn, but it's not a big deal. Okay, rook here. Rook here. Rook here next. And that's GG. Check. Ugh. Thank God the king isn't any closer. Yeah, there's no more checks. No more checks. Queen on the board next. You can also give like rook check. And then, well, you need the rook to guard the promotion. So we have resignation. Andrew answers back. Yeah, I believed in Andrew. They had a rough start. This game was actually pretty close. They were 1 win away from drawing. So very close match, 9-7 final score. And yeah, props to Mexico. They had a very well-rounded team. In fact, their 4th board did the best with 3 out of 4. So in fact, they were the only player to win in this 4th and final round here against Bill, sorry. And with this 1 win from Luis, they win the match. So well done.